When it comes to depth, as a matter of fact, did you guys hear about the infinites in Melty Blood? Bro, there is wild ass infinites with this new patch in Melty Blood. Let me see if I can get one pulled up. Do people already have some ready? What's the name of the new Melty Blood? Type Lumina, right? I could probably find one faster on Twitter. I feel like if I went to Twitter, I'd probably find one way faster. Thanks, Twitter. You're the best. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, I found one. Dude, I fucking found one. Holy crap. We're gonna... Holy shit. Bro, and the worst part is they're literally fucking timer scams. This is disgusting. Okay, let me see if I can get this pulled up for you. Holy shit. What a wild ride. Wow, I'm glad I don't play Melty. I'm so glad I don't play. That looks fucking nuts. I'd be tilted as shit if I got hit by property. Why is it not letting me show it? Maybe I should just open display capture. But the problem is if I open display capture, I can't show you guys like all. I'm trying to get this to open. This is going to take a while. I'm really bad at Twitter. Settings for window capture? That's not. Brother, where is this? Like, I'm just trying to show this. Oh, God, that was so difficult. Why? That was so difficult for no reason. Yeah, so we have it. We have it pulled up. Let me show you guys this fuck shit. Let me show you guys this new fuck shit in Melty Blood Type Lumina. Are you guys ready? Then, maybe I should click the post. I heard that helps. This looks like garbage. And it sounds really loud too. This is really loud. And then here's the infinite. I don't know if you guys can see that, but just go ahead and look at the damage. You guys see the problem here yet? You guys see the problem here yet? You guys see that damage? Or lack thereof damage? You see that shit? This is a timer scam infinite. This is like the worst of the worst style of infinite. It's horrible. Do I have to keep going? Now, this is obviously unintentional, right? This is definitely 100% unintentional, for sure. I'm sure I don't have to explain. But it's really cool. It's not gonna last long, I can tell you that right now. But I think it's pretty tight. Seeing infinites in a game like Melty, right? I think that infinites in general are pretty cool. But like infinites that are a timer scam like that don't really have any place in the competitive meta, usually get removed from the game. A lot of things like that are removed from games. And I think it's a big factor to why fighting games are so much more honed in now than they used to be. And that honed in feels like what people say is like less depth. But a good example is to say that there is less emergent gameplay, which is true. I think most fighting games now have significantly less emergent gameplay. I don't know if you know what emergent gameplay means. It's kind of a meme. It means like a bunch of system mechanics come together, like a bunch of simple system mechanics come together in like ways that were not intended, that become you know, a new way to play the game, a new way to look at the game. Right? And emergent gameplay is something that a lot of older games had in strives. Like there was tons of it, right? A really good example is the Melee wave dash, right? The physics engine with the jumping and directional air dodge led to you being able to air dodge into the ground. Luna, need to move. Led to you being able to directionally air dodge into the ground. This freaking cat led to you being able to directionally air dodge into the ground and keep your momentum. And that momentum would slide you across the ground at varying angles, right? Depending on how you decided to angle your analog stick when you did so. Oh my God, so much burn, right? Something like glitch jabs in Mortal Kombat 4. I don't know if glitch jabs existed in Ultimate in K3. It might have, right? But the glitch jabs that I remember, which I guess I should explain for anyone who's never played Mortal Kombat 4, while doing high punches, there was a bunch of other buttons, but while doing a bunch of different forms of normals, you could tap, block, and down back repeatedly while doing the normal, which on the old style like cross layout arcade stick wasn't really that hard. You could do that, and it would make it so that the ending animation could not be whiff punished for your buttons. That's why it was called glitch jabbing, because it was a glitch that made your buttons all safe on block. On whiff. You barely saw people get hit from range in Mortal Kombat, in the old Mortal Kombat games, because glitch jabbing existed. I believe it did exist in Ultimate Mortal Kombat, which is like the biggest competitive Mortal Kombat until the NRS scene came around, right? Until like Mortal Kombat 9, X, 11. Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 was the one that most people played, right? And that stopped you from getting hit at range. It allowed you to have active hitboxes to cover a part of the screen. So that it made it so that most of the time you got hit, it was off of an actual punish on a special move or jump reads, right? Like you would hit someone jumping, or you would hit someone holding back to break throws. That's how you tech throws. You get hit by a low punch, taking it. That's another form of emergent gameplay. There's tons of emergent gameplay in fighting games that we don't even think about that is totally healthy. And then there's others that just get straight up removed, right? So something like Infinites, depending on the game, Infinites are okay. Something like glitch jabbing or wave dashing in Melee, or even Korean backdash. Korean backdash is an exploit. It's some form of emergent gameplay. They did not mean for it to be, because you can cancel your backdash into something else. And it's been in the game since the game came out, right? Since the very first Tekken 1. You've always been able to backdash into something other than a backdash. And they thought, what if instead I could backdash into another backdash? How would I do that? Back, down, back, release, back again. Because you get neutral. That's pretty sick. You get neutral and then you get back. You just have to press backward. Right? And that's kind of the repeating cycle of Korean backdash, which is pretty cool. I'm trying to think of other forms of emerging gameplay that are like not unhealthy. Fuzzy guard break. Not being able to crouch after blocking certain attacks standing, or I'm sorry, your hurt box still being considered standing, but your animation is crouching. So your block is a crouch, so you get hit by instant overhead and things like Street Fighter 4. Fuzzy guard break is another good example of emergent gameplay. And there's so much less emergent gameplay now than there is in older fighting games, right? You're not going to see too much of it. Clash cancels in Soul Calibur 6. I think that's a really nice form of emergent gameplay that I don't think really has any reason to get removed. Clash cancels, or clash trading, whatever you want to call it, is where two moves collide and one player is left plus enough that they can get a free follow-up. Now, it's like so specific that you have to like kind of make the situation happen, right? Like, so something like Cassandra. Cassandra's 1K. On block, if you try to 2A out after 1K, I believe you get hit by her neutral B, or 5B. Maybe it's a different button. But she can confirm a button, a vertical, to clash with your horizontal, your fast horizontal, and be plus enough to get a full launch, to get an I-18 or I-20, depending on what her launch is, on. That is another form of emergent gameplay. Now, what we don't think about is that there's tons of it all over fighting games and like just competitive games in general, and that a lot of it is actually not that bad for video games. And then there's other things that are very bad for them. At this point, it's not up to us to decide what stays and what doesn't. It's up to the developers. Now, they have full reins on their games. They're steering that motherfucking horse, and we're just along for the ride. We're passengers. So if you ever find something cool in your game that you think is sick tech, be wary. I don't want it to get removed, but it probably will. A good example was Oro's fastfall glitch in Street Fighter V. It was called a glitch after the fact, but you could vary the timing on your fastfall from Oro, so that there was mix that they were not expecting to be able to be. They were not expecting to be able to happen. Even games as simple as Street Fighter V that people say has no tech, there's no depth, game is baby easy, add emergent gameplay at some points in time. We can even look at a game like Fantasy Strike, the DNC loop. For anyone who doesn't know what a DNC is, it is divide and conquer. It is one of Onimaru's special moves that does 2 points of chip damage, 2 points of block damage. After 3 points of block damage, take a full point of chip. But he also has a guard crush mechanic, which means that after you block 3 of his sword attacks, you actually get stuck in you get knocked down. You don't just take the block damage, you straight up get knocked down. Get whatever normal animation or normal hit property is supposed to happen, that is what happens. Your guard breaks. You fully lose out on just taking block damage, right? So what you could do is from certain ranges, you could do a back A, which does 1 point of guard crush, 1 point of block damage. Then you could do, 1 point of block damage. You don't get block crush. You don't lose the full life. Then you could do the first hit of divide and conquer because it's a 2-hitting special move that does another hit of guard crush and another point of block damage. Then the next hit, though the block damage doesn't matter, you'll take a 3rd thing of block damage, but you also get guard crush, which means you take the full extent of what divide and conquer does, which is a knockdown. So at 1 life, you can get DNC looped and just killed. Pretty sick. If you don't have something to reversal out, you can get DNC looped at 2 or even 3 life and just die. That was a form of emergent gameplay that the Fantasy Strike devs I don't think was healthy and removed from the game reluctant. I love Onimaru. Not everything's a glitchy game engine or a bug or an exploit. Sometimes it is simple game design mechanics, philosophies, physics engines coming together to create something that the developers did not think was possible. Sometimes it'll stay, sometimes it won't. But every fighting game out there probably has some form of emergent gameplay you never even thought about or seen. Keep your eyes open. And keep your mouse ready to click the like button on this video and the subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers by the end of the year. That'd be sick. We're like halfway there, please. It's only January. Anyways, Beanie Thuggish on the YouTube. Signing out. Peace.